Hours later, as I navigated my way to my bed, a sharp pain shot through my foot.
Ouch!
I hissed, recoiling as an ink bottle rolled away.
Merlin's beard, Sebastian! Keep your mess on your side!
Sebastian only snickered, kicking the offending object under his bed. I rolled my eyes, slid beneath my sheets, and exhaled deeply. For a while, I lay in silence, listening to the rhythmic turn of pages from Sebastian's book. The quiet should have been comforting, but something restless tugged at my chest. My thoughts were tangled, unusually cluttered. Before I fully processed the impulse, I heard myself speak.
Can I ask you something?
Sebastian hummed absently, still absorbed in his reading. I hesitated, but the lid was already off.
Am I missing something? Between you and Nina, I mean.
For a couple of unbearably long seconds, the question hung in the air, giving me just enough time to regret it. The sound of Sebastian's book snapping shut was deafening.
Ugh, blazes,
he muttered.
Didn't think we'd be having this talk so soon.
I stiffened, irritated at how my body reacted as though it had expected a different answer.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I could ask you the same thing.
He shifted under his blanket.
You'll have to be more specific.
Annoyance flared in my chest. He knew exactly what I meant. He had known me long enough not to underestimate my ability to notice things. The way his voice softened when he spoke to her, the casual touches. The fact he'd worn his cologne almost every day since she'd complimented him on it. Even a blind person could see it. But Sebastian thrived on making people squirm. And tonight, I was his chosen victim.
Do you like her?
I asked, my voice steady despite the agitation I failed to quell.
Are you two?
No.
Sebastian interrupted, too quickly, then quieter.
I mean, yes, but no.
That clears things up,
I said flatly, waiting for him to elaborate. My brows slowly pushed together as I waited for a response, my fingers plucking on a loose thread on my pillow. Then he exhaled.
We talked, sorted things out. We're friends, nothing more.
My heartbeat quickened. I should have felt relieved. Instead, the tension only deepened.
You what?
We went swimming the other night.
I sat up abruptly.
You what?
Shh!
Sebastian hissed.
If Drogon finds out...
For Merlin's sake, you stole the prefect's bathroom password again?
It took all the restraint I could muster to keep my voice low.
Not the point.
He shot back.
Point is, there's nothing between us. Can I go back to my book now?
I was ready to argue, but then I heard it. Faint, barely perceptible except to me. The slight tremble in his voice. I listened as he sifted through his book, pretending to search for where he'd left it. I sighed, tucking my legs back under the sheets.
Thank you for telling me.
He didn't reply at first, leaving me to sit with the thought of them, of Nina and Sebastian sharing something private, something I had no claim over. The image made my eye twitch. A few beats of silence passed. Then, with a loud, exaggerated groan, Sebastian wrestled his way out of bed, suppressing a yelp as he stepped onto something, likely another ink bottle. I tensed as he approached, bracing myself.
You're an idiot,
he said. Before I could react, I howled for the second time that evening, pressing a hand to my throbbing forehead. The other hand curled into a fist, ready to fight back.
What was that?
Don't!
Sebastian cut in.
You two are infuriating.
What?
Talk to her.
His tone was a strange mix of reluctance and certainty.
Don't talk to me, talk to her.
And with that, he stomped back to his bed, cursing as he tripped over his own mess. I was still too startled to speak when the lights went out. His muffled breathing told me he'd pulled the blanket over his head. This conversation was over. Exams began on Thursday, and by the time we finished our transfiguration test, the strain in Nina's voice had eased. We lingered near the doorway, surrounded by the relieved chatter of our classmates.
That went well,
Nina said, lighter than she'd sounded in days.
One less thing to worry about.
Anne's smirk was audible.
And you've got the whole weekend to prepare for the next one. Did you find another tutor for potions, or am I doomed to suffer through another study session with you?
Silence.
Oh, don't give me that look.
Anne chuckled.
I was just kidding. I'm sorry.
Nina muttered.
But yeah, I did actually.
Her voice brightened.
Ominous offered to help.
Warmth spread through my chest at the sound of my name on her lips. But before I could respond, Professor Weasley's voice rang out.
I have an important announcement.
A groan nearly escaped me as I angled my ear toward her. The room quieted. Then, with no small amount of excitement in her tone, she declared,
In light of this year's Quidditch season being cancelled, and to lift your spirits after midterm exams, Headmaster Black has agreed to arrange a special event before the holidays.
She paused for effect.
Hogwarts is going to hold a Yule Ball.
The room erupted. Gasps, laughter, groans. I winced at the noise, trying to pick out Nina's voice.
On Christmas Eve night, we gather in the Great Hall for a night of well-mannered frivolity.
Professor Weasley continued.
I expect each and every one of you to put your best foot forward. And I do mean that literally, because the Yule Ball is, first and foremost, a dance.
A flicker of unease curled in my stomach.
There will be a dress code,
She added.
and you'll be required to find a partner for the main dance.
I waited for the chatter to subdue, every nerve on edge as I moved to the back of the room. Sebastian stepped beside me, silent and composed, traces of our talk the other night still humming between us.
There will be a dance lesson next week after your final exam.
Professor Weasley's voice cut through my thoughts.
Be sure to find a dance partner by then. You're dismissed.
A rush of movement followed, robes brushing against me, excited voices rising as students scattered, some already plotting and making arrangements. I heard Anne talking to Nerida. Had Nina left already? I tightened my grip on my wand, hesitating near the exit. Beside me, Sebastian huffed.
She's standing outside.
He said, a tinge of mockery in his tone. Then, after a pause,
And fix your teeth. You've got a piece of lettuce stuck in there.
he was gone before I could decide if he was joking.